coming in, but they're not coming in as comfortable. They're not coming in as referrals. They're not coming in that warm fuzzies. We really want to work with Fox Construction. Now it's it's how to close it as being the value based person rather than just being a numbers commodity. I understand conceptually what's going on, but I still don't know how to fix it yet. So that's where I'm at on my like journey. So the company that I'm with right now, and this is one of the things I've told you before, is I started with them. We started February of last year. The website went live in May, and we've just been kind of going through the process and just doing different things with it. And one of the big things that's been successful as far as helping to generate new leads is they had me do a realtor outreach, and it was basically the slight bait and switch because it was a play on words. It's like we're looking for a realtor. We're looking for a realtor to sell our new custom homes. Well, people called and were like, "Oh, okay. Well, what homes do you have to sell?" "Oh, no, 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 no. We don't have them to sell. We're trying to get you to help us sell these to clients."
Yeah.
And it was like, "Oh, well, how are we doing that?" "Well, we can work with you on lots. We can do this, and I had the whole spiel, of how to do it. And I've actually had some success, getting in front of more people and, generating leads that way. And it's also getting in front of a ton of realtors. And, we've got a storefront and we've got this much of a brand name along, in our area because we've been here 13 years. So, there's been certain things that they've done really well. And, you reached back out to me and I was like, man, I remember talking. I remember a handful of things we talked about, but, I was still new-ish with the company that I'm with. And I was like, man, I don't want to restart this right now. And you had reached out to me saying, hey, do you want to do, another call? And I was like, sure. I'm not promising anything, but I'm definitely
Yeah.
interested in, in going back through it and, seeing if there's certain things that now being further along in the program with the current company that I'm with that I feel like, could be better by going with somebody different. Because as much as I appreciate all that they've done for me, I'm still, I still want to keep my options open. I don't want to close my eyes, and sell myself short, sell the company short. I owe it to the people that are working for me and the subcontractors and everybody to put the best foot forward to try to get the most business in the area.
100%. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I have.
So is there anything that your current marketers or marketing is doing that really well that you do like about what's working?
Their CRM system's pretty good. So I do like the CRM system that they've got set up with it where we can book calls through it. People one of the things that I do think is super cool because for years I did just SEO websites. So it was all search engine optimization and it was crap
Yep.
and it just sounded like crap. It didn't work, and it was just somebody outsourcing it to some other country that had no knowledge of anything about construction, and all they were told is, "Hey, plug in all these words," and it was just a bunch of word salad. It was terrible. So then finally, I gave up on it and said, "Okay, I'm just going to create a landing page so that way I have a place where I can send people to help upsell the beautiful properties that I've done." And that's what I did and then they came behind that and said, okay, well, we're going to do that. And we're also going to have it where while somebody's on your website, the call to action isn't going to be give us a call on Monday. Come to find out, there's a lot of people that search the website during timeframes that I never knew because I never had the analytics for it, nor was it any value because there was no conversion. It was
Yeah.
they would write down my number. Well, you can't see that in analytics when somebody's going to write down your number. All you can see is that they go to the contact us page, but you don't know why. If they just looked at it, if they were writing it down or what. But now they're booking calls, some of them on Saturday night. So the reason why I like that is because in the back of my mind, there's only so many people that are going to book 17 calls, but you can easily write down 17 phone numbers. You
Yep.
know, hey, do you build homes? Great. What's your price per square foot? Click. What's your price per square foot? Click. What's your price per square foot? You can easily robo dial through that. But I
Yep.
don't think people are going to do that if they're setting up meetings. So even if they're going to book 3 meetings with people, even if other people have websites like mine, they can book calls through them. I don't think they're going to do as many. Some people, they're like me, they're going to book one call and they'll be like, I got this. I got my guy. Hey, he's got this website. This is cool. That's cool. I like this floor plan, because one of the other things that they wanted to promote is me selling something. So they've got ready plans, and it's ready for your lot. And they, we give a little price range for it for 3 of the plans, and then there's another 12 plans that are available without pricing. They have to go through a little pricing tool, and at the end of the pricing tool, it prompts them to call, which is, I don't like it, but supposedly that's the only way that this really works. If you give them all the pricing up front, nobody ever calls you, and you become a commodity. And that's where I'm also like struggling for the sales process of it, because like I said, I didn't have to sell in the same manner that I'm having to learn how to do it now. Like I've had to shift my audio book journey into more of the sales stuff to try to catch up to it, because I can't hire a sales guy. I'd love to be able to hire an outside salesperson or inside or whatever to do it. I just don't have we don't have the bandwidth to be able to do it. We don't have the funding to be able to do that. We don't have enough jobs to be able to do that.
You need to buy back a little time.
That's it. Dan Martell will tell you that every time.
You know it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So in your call to actions, it's linked to your CRM, so that organic traffic can flow and funnel into your CRM?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay. And then so what we had talked about last time for like filling your pipeline and getting those consistent leads and capturing them with the meta ads was running you on camera, doing 10 to 15 short form videos, building out that trust and authority in your area, getting in front of more people in your area with just simple you on camera videos, just talking about what you do, what separates you in the industry, just authenticity, because that is what wins here. And then like geo map out your area so that we're targeting your area that we want to target, and then keying in on what that ideal customer persona looks like for you, so we can dial in and cater to all this marketing towards your ideal customer and what that looks like.
So that's one of the things that, I do remember y'all talking about that. And I think your range was like $2,000 to $4,000 a month for the advertisements. And I had heard it before, and some kind of way when you presented it, it didn't stick immediately. It was several days later. I started really thinking about it, because one of the things that has helped me sell jobs in the past was having signs out. Nothing breeds work like work. I've said that for years. Why? Because if you have a ton of signs out and somebody, is driving, and sees 3 of your signs, it's where a one-day drive destination location. People between their 5th and 7th year of visiting here will purchase or build. And that's kind of the target market. Is my avatar for the sales is a 35 to 65-year-old woman. And the idea, if I'm advertising to them, is to get to them the week before they come in, when they're sitting there on their chaise lounge with their tablet or their iPhone Pro and scrolling through the different lots and different houses and different things that they're going to look at when they come in to purchase this time. So, and to talk to builders and to do all that stuff. So that's who it is. That's the time frame that they're going to be looking, the vast majority of it. And so I've got that conceptually in my mind, and that's rang true. As even today, that's still running true, where most of the time my initial contact is from the wife, situation. I'm not saying, I haven't worked for, gay couples. I'm not saying, or, non-traditional, setups I have in the past, but I'm just saying 80% of the time, it's the wife that calls them, call up to make the initial setup. And, the husband will get in on it. What his buy off on it is, I can't tell you 100%, other than the fact that I know he needs to okay it too. But, it's still 80% of the time, it's the wife calling first for that initial contact. So I do believe that still rings true for me. But it's hard, with the analytics, it's hard to see who is doing it, whether it's the husband, the wife, the kids, who knows, the executive assistant, you just don't know who's exactly making that initial contact. Because I've had executive assistants contact me before. So, they get tasked to go find, somebody and, this area because they're going to be coming and they want to buy. So that was really last year, but that I had that the last time that happened. But the hard part that I'm struggling with, and I think we had discussed it before, was the volume of work that I'm currently doing. Uh, I'm I'm trying to figure out how to pay a company plus that. And one of the things that I have been doing over the past almost year now is I've got a marketing lady out of the Philippines, and she's been doing all my social media. Um, she's got access to all my historic photos. We've been doing my two job site superintendents. They've been doing. I did it for the first month, and I showed them. You take your phone and you just like that across the job site. We're able to send that to the clients for their weekly updates to give them a live perspective. It's different than taking a picture. In a picture, you can hide stuff better. Oh, I'm not going to show the whole place. I'm only going to show this and make it look like it's more done. When you have that panoramic view of it in real time, it makes it look like you're showing them more. And it also looks like what they're seeing on social media. So it gets them that much more excited about it. But, she's been able to work through that with the social media stuff. And, I've been working on doing some film work with a local guy, getting similar to what you're talking about. We did one yesterday where we shot three 5-minute long videos, and we're going to chop them up. I started a YouTube channel where I've done podcast style interviews, but then we're also doing more front facing, just me stuff, where it's like trying to develop me as the business authority. Because I've known a lot of that stuff, and it was just getting a comfortability on it. A year ago when I first started doing, taking the videos of the job sites, it was a little bit of breaking into that comfort level, and then
it gets easier and easier and easier.
Can't step away from your
right.
Yeah.
And now me being facing, and not that I'm a nervous person. I like public speaking. I actually do. I really enjoy it. I get a kick out of it. And it was just nervous being in front of the camera, because part of what I struggle with is in a conversation like what you and I are having, I don't have to finish a sentence, not a single one. If I don't finish a sentence, you're still going to understand every point. Now, if you're having to rewatch it and you're listening to somebody who doesn't finish sentences, it's like, this dude's nuts. Like, he can't finish a sentence. It's like, hey, let's go and then we go to you're jumping all around on different thoughts, and it's like, you're not finishing a sentence. Come on, give me the information. When you're watching it on video, when it's real time, it makes it way different. You can get away with a whole lot more. You can get away with more ums. You can get away with more, oh shoot, what was that word? It was that. It's real time. That's going to happen. We're used to that. But on video, it becomes much harder to keep those dedicated monologues and not having to switch to as much B-roll stuff. So there's a lot of that's been more of a challenge, getting used to that. But so I am interested, because right now I am paying for the local person to do it. What is y'all's method of getting that accomplished, of the front-facing stuff?
To get content, honestly, iPhone with a good DJI mic. That authenticity, just plain and simple. Just it works great, just as good as hiring a videographer crew. You can do that and get some higher quality, content, but just authentic, real footage of you, just with an iPhone works amazing. It's working with our client, like with all of our clients that we're currently working with, some of which use, like a videographer, and they'll, do a couple day shoot and get more content and, make it look more professional. But honestly, the ones done on the iPhone work just as well.
Well, I had to plan on doing this a while back, so I did make an investment. So I've got my little, camera. I've got my little tripod. So, it's decent. It shoots in 4K. It's not a pro camera, but it's definitely good enough. I've got my little, get out of there. Got my little Rode, microphones. So,
nice.
I've got my little setup for it. I've got the lights and everything. I got this all set up. So a real estate agent that I know, who cornered the local market. So he got his degree in marketing and real estate marketing from Florida University. And 4 years ago, he started on his YouTube channel journey and was putting out content regularly. Now he's up to like $40,000 a year hiring people to do the videography stuff for it because he's selling a ton of stuff. He sold like $25 million last year of real estate. And it's because anytime you Google anything having to do with our little micro economy, he shows up as the authority from the Google search. The Google search will show the YouTube videos that he's on. So he's figured out a ton of different ways to go about that, and he's had a ton of success. And a year ago, I wanted to start mimicking that. He told me 2.5 years ago I need to start doing it. I wish I would have then, because I'd be much stronger than I am now with this stuff. But I bought it a year ago. Had some trouble getting, finding the time to get things going, but I have the past like 3 months. So we've been starting doing it. I say 3 months. Yeah, it's April now. Started in January. So yeah, we're 3 months into it. And we're releasing decent content now. And I've started, get with that little camera. I was able to get some testimonials from prior clients. I'm starting to try to do all the things, running this stuff through ChatGPT and Gemini and all that stuff, how to do this. And, it's like how to AIO, search engine search engine optimization, AI optimization. Here's one of the things that I really believe is going to be a big thing is getting found on the AIs. Why? Because I've for the longest time since I started in 2013, I've never believed somebody was going to go to Google to find me. I've never believed that that's where they're going to find me. If they see me on there, it may give me some credibility, but I don't really think that that's where they're going to go to build $1 million house. They're not going to Google me. But I do believe that they're going to ask ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, because people believe that stuff now. If I could get ranked high enough, I think they're going to believe that. And that's one of the things I did a search and I ranked 20th. Nobody's going to the 20th. So I was like, okay, how do I get up from there? And I started trying to get more reviews. I'm trying to get at least 2 reviews a week for Google. I just talked to House this morning about getting on their program to start getting reviews there and, upping that. And they want just an arm and a leg for it. I'm just like, I don't have the volume right now. That will be like a next level type thing. Like if this is a tiered system, once I get up here. And that was one of the things that I'm trying to look at for the Facebook stuff. Because y'all had mentioned, during the last meeting, you're like, well, you were getting found through, word of mouth and people driving by. Well, now we're going to be on Facebook, and that's where people are driving by now. I had heard that before. Y'all had mentioned it the last time, and that, that really helped ingrain in me. But the problem is the buy off on it. The, $24,000 to $48,000 a year. Plus, everything else, it just becomes really, even at the price point that I'm selling the homes, because I'm not selling that many of them right now. Our goal is to have 8 this year. We're in Q2 and we're not picking up the work to be able to make that goal. I am struggling to figure it out, and I am trying to stay as positive as I can and just saying, okay, the war is messing this up, but I know I can do it. I'm just gonna have to grind through it. We're gonna have to push more stuff. I'm gonna have to get better on calls. I'm gonna have to spend more time figuring out how to sell these jobs better, how to be a better salesman on the phone, how to close more of these deals, how to get people more engaged. And, I'm trying to think of all these different things, from my side of it, because we're getting leads now, but it's closing those leads. I get it. If we're getting 10 leads now and we had 50 leads, it'd be easier. Even if my conversion ratio goes down, it'd still be easier because we're getting more leads. But at the same token, I think there's only going to be a certain amount of leads. We're in a very small area. There's only going to be so many people that are going to call me no matter what I do. And there's other people that are doing a ton of work. There's other people that are doing, off of those, 8 homes, we'll probably do, between 7 and 9 million. There's guys that are doing $50 million, $60 million worth of work right now. There's 10 of them in the area. They have a much bigger marketing budget. They can saturate the market 3x what I could and not even flinch. Whether they are or not, it's a different story. But some of them aren't, some of them are. So yeah, it's working through that. But so if I'm shooting it myself, how do y'all set that up? Do y'all give scripts that have worked for other clients that you found that have been successful for other clients? Are you relying on me to work on scripts? You'll just give me ideas, or how does that process work?
No, we will give you the scripts and we will cater those to what your ideal customer looks like, and cater like all your marketing around that, to driving the message to those people, the message that they want to hear. And we would script all that out, do the editing, all the ideology on that. You just have to video it and send us the footage, and we will edit it all up, make it look beautiful, put it all together, and work with it that way.
Okay.
Also, you had brought up the AEO. That is something else that we are really keyed in on, is the AI and getting our clients out on the top of the searches there, by building out the proper backlinks and building out the trust and authority with that in that field, like with the AI searches, so that we can get you on the top of those searches, as well as with the SEO, getting you on the top of the searches with Google, which
there's no top of the search with Google, though. Yeah. The problem that I've found as far as home builders is, it used to be harder because there was there was a paid person, there was Angie's Leads, Home Advisor, and then the two other people that have been in this area for 30 years. That was it. That was the front page of Google. Nobody else was getting on it in my area. Why? Because they've got, both of them have 30 years. They haven't changed their website. I'm sure their Google authority is 97. You're not bumping them off. And one of the guys is my direct competitor. Like, I've lost jobs to him because he's slightly cheaper than me, more than slightly. He provides a lower quality of product, but I haven't been able to sell the value in those situations. When I'm bidding against him, it's typically a value buyer. And so he wins, 70% of those.
So my other question is, do you have your automations all set up within your CRM for follow-up system?
Yes, to some degree. So one of the things we've worked on is we've developed a brand book. I'm almost ready to put it in the print. We're still working on the print side of it, but we developed a brand book, and that the digital version of that's being sent out when somebody contacts us for a call. So they book a call with us, the brand book gets sent out. And there's also, they go into our automation setup where, it's like first call, second call, third call, and then all of a sudden, they get on the drip campaign portion of it where they get a weekly email from us. And there's they had their own script. I had to fill out some of the information and adjust it where I felt comfortable with it. That was the reason why it went from February to May before we went live, because that was part of the deal with them, was going through the
get that dialed in,
having to make sure all the drip campaign stuff was accurate to what was going to work for
problem
us.
is these guys don't
So when someone fills out your form and comes into the CRM, what is the sequence? Like, what does that look like?
The problem is
so
that
they fill out the form,
that we're on
goes
the
into the
with,
CRM. So right
we
away, do
neglected
they get an
marketing for 5
email
years.
sent to
Now
them
he's
and followed with a
struggling.
text message, or how does that look?
What do you think?
An email, yes, but I'm not sure about the text message portion of it. Now we have one of those. Gosh, what do they call it? It's the
I want a Zoom call and there's a problem.
We've got 2 or 3 different ones where one of them's like a pricing guide
this person
that
right here.
give us your email address, we'll email you the
They
pricing guide. I
neglected
forget what they
marketing for
call
the
it.
last 3 years, and he just
It's like an anchor thing, or
because I didn't think it was important. Because
whatever the marketing term is for it. But we also have a lookbook. We've got I think there's 3 of them buried on the website where it's the call to action is, hey, contact us and get this free thing. We'll send you. And so they get that automatically. Then they get the they get the email for that. Then they get put into our system, and then it lets me know, hey, this person, within 48 hours, you're supposed to be, contacting them back or whatever, to contact them to find out, if they enjoyed the lookbook, if they have any more questions, or yada, 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 yada. So all that stuff. So it does send that out. And if they book a call, if they come onto the job or the website and book a call, then it automatically sends them out the brand book. And then, we have the call, and then I physically move them through the CRM thing from the first call, second call, budgeting, pricing, and all that stuff.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So what I'm thinking, based off of what you're saying, like you want to come out with the AI search, you want more leads coming into your pipeline, quality leads, obviously, and so my suggestion would be that growth package that we had. I think we had talked about that last time. That's $3,000 a month, and that includes all the SEO, AEO. Make sure that your website is optimized, because there is a few tweaks to get that ranking up better that I see could be done. And then, yeah, you've already got the CRM built out. So what CRM is it on, by the way? Is it Go High Level or Builder Trend or what?
So I don't build a trend.
No.
How do I find that out?
If you click on it, it should say.
I mean, they've got it branded.
Oh, do they? Okay. Who is that through?
Builder Lead Converter.
Okay. Do you know who they use, Nick? If you're still there? Must be.
He bailed on us.
He bailed on us. All good.
No, I don't know. I don't even know if I shared the screen, if it would, if it looks, the same as it does for everything.
Yeah. But yeah, honestly, that's my suggestion, is that growth package. I would want to tweak it a little bit, as far as for like taking that CRM out of there, taking a few things out of there that you don't need. So I would have to get together with Nick after and see what we can come up with as far as for what you need, and how we can tweak a package to make it work for you.
Okay.
Because I don't believe you need everything there. But if we could, maybe switch a few things, take a few things out of the higher up package to replace what we take out of the growth package, like include the 365-day follow-up system, instead of building out a CRM or something like that. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, like we can definitely kind of customize it a little bit for sure. So you already have, just to make sure I'm clear, can you tell me what are the things that you don't want and what are the things that we do want, just so I can wrap my head around the deliverables and what's needed?
Like his website is done right. He's got a CRM already.
Okay.
I don't know that they don't own the CRM portion of it though, and the website. That's the thing that I'm not 100% sure of.
You've already got, so that is a 365-day follow-up system then that you do have set up, that weekly email that you send out within the CRM.
It might be a year, it might be 6 months. I can't remember what it is.
Okay.
CRM.
So he needs the help with the AI search, the AEO.
Okay.
And I'm thinking the SEO too, and some work on the website, but not like a rebuild or anything like that. Just needs some tweaking on the back end. The meta ads for sure.
Okay. So meta ads and SEO is more or less, and then your website, you own the website though, right? Like you have it on your own, like you own the domain on like GoDaddy or like Bluehost.
I own that portion of it, but I don't know that if
Or if a website could be considered like a house, then you want to own the keys. You want the keys.
the artist formerly known as Prince.
Oh, what did I say? Oh, Ash, I think you're muted.
Sorry, buddy. Yeah, I just got to step just for a second, but I can still hear you guys.
Yeah, okay. No, that sounds good. But yeah, for meta ads and SEO, if you have the CRM, the website, if you don't know if it's yours, I mean, if it's downloading and putting it on your own server, then I'm happy just to include that, just to make sure you have your website, because that's important. For the meta ads, that would be the video editing and the graphic design, and then we'll help you with the scripts and everything, and then the SEO. I guess here's one question, because I want to be able to like give you the best service for a very fair price. I just want to make sure that I'm able to like put like all the deliverables, like, so SEO, there's there's a couple faucets there. You have like your on page, right? You have technical, and then you need backlinks. So like obviously your website has to load really fast, and it needs the right page structure, and with SEO you're constantly building out content and pages on your site, because only you can have one primary keyword per page, and then you can have other keywords that support one primary keyword. But the days like 5 years ago or 7 years ago, or honestly maybe even 4 years ago, you could like keyword stuff a page, but like as soon as people start gamifying something, Google's pretty smart, right? So then they say, hey, nope, that's not going to work. So for the meta ads and the SEO, if we can definitely make some changes on the website and go through like 2 rounds of changes, and like we can add, we need to make sure this ranks for SEO. So then we do need to make changes on the website so that we have all the I's dotted and the T's crossed. I think we could probably do 1,800 USD on the Centrals package. So that would include us doing the video editing and the graphic design on the ads, and we'll run the ads for you. And then for the SEO, we'll do the blogs, the GMB posts, but we're not building out the whole CRM. We can definitely support you there, but that does take some, like, there's a lot of faucets there also. So I'll do the meta ads and the SEO on our essentials pricing, but it wouldn't include a full website. Like, we're not rebuilding the whole site. We're just going to use what you have, and we're going to make sure that it's built, and we might have to restructure it a decent amount, but like we'll keep the same vibe. You know what I mean? We'll just keep adding to it and just make sure everything is buttoned up. And then for the SEO, that would include backlinks, technical SEO. I can also add you onto our cybersecurity plan. I mean, AIs are literally crazy nowadays, so like having security on your website is not a bad idea. So I can add that on there too, onto your website. It's essentially like a firewall. So if somebody were to they can't break through the firewall. It's literally owned by GoDaddy. We use a company called Securi, and they're the cybersecurity company behind everything that we do. And GoDaddy is a huge company, and we trust their cybersecurity. I mean, it's not cheap, but it's cheaper than somebody of our clients getting hacked. So that's why we are very cautious in today's world, because it's important. But yeah, I can do that for 1,800. I'm a little bit nervous what Seth will say internally, but I think if you think that's fair, Ash, I think that's fair. Chris, you seem like the kind of guy who, and tell me if I'm wrong, but when we jump on these meetings, like you also know, like you've done a lot of research in these areas, and so one thing that I had for question is like, we can do the blogs, the GMB, the backlinks, and everything like that. And I guess not a question I wanted to tell you. What I wanted to tell you is to rank on the AEO engines like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, etc. You have to show up organically on Google, because those AI platforms pull from the top search results. And so you got to be in the top 3 there. And so definitely we can help you rank in the AI engines. We've done that for many clients. It's not like a magic thing. We need to do like the fundamentals of SEO and then rank your site. And then all the AI engines are pulling typically from the first 3 or 5. But no, they're not going further back than that. You know what I mean? So.
Right.
So essentially what you're saying here, Nick, is the growth package, but with essentials pricing, but minus a few things from the growth.
Yeah, because see, like
take the website build out, the 30-day follow-up system wouldn't be needed.
Correct. Yes. So then we're removing a few deliverables. Um, correct. I still want to support you in all the ways. Essentially, I want to be able to like build the trust here because yeah, normally like we would just do SEO for the 2250 is like our kind of our organic package. But honestly, like I've been listening to this call and Chris, like I just want to give you a good service and and then as our trust builds and we create momentum together, then that's worth more than more than anything. So I'd be willing to do that. My only caveat is that I want to make sure because sometimes we have clients who like clients who win with us care about their business. That sounds obvious, and I know you care about your business, but sometimes we work with people and they don't show up to our weekly meeting, okay? That's so important because we're working hard and we need your approval. You're the owner of the company. We're building it out for you, right? You're hiring us to do that. And if we're going to do it for a little bit less, I guess, like, you know what I mean? I'm kind of slashing a bit of the price off. I just want to make sure that you're cool with showing up every week onto those meetings because, like, sometimes that disappoints our account managers and our team. It's like, hey, I just worked hard all week and the guy, he didn't even care to show up or message me. And it's like, they
Right.
sometimes that feels like, because we need to get you the result. That's our job. And so if the company owner doesn't show up, it's a little harder to just post things without permission if they never gave us approval on things. You know what I mean? So that's my only ask is that if I'm going to do that, like I want to create this success and I know that we can do it together. I just want to make sure we're both like just as committed, if that makes sense. And sounds obvious and I shouldn't have to say that, but like we've signed up customers and then they don't jump on like the second call and I'm like, man, you just paid us. We're building this. We need your approval, but you're not here. So
Right.
I want to just to make that clear because I want it to win right from the beginning, and it just takes all of us showing up to make it happen.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Does this sound like something that you're interested in, Chris?
Potentially, I'd want to see the breakdown of it just to make sure, because it's like, you know, looking at a fruit tray that's the size of an island.
Yeah.
You have a fruit tray, they have a fruit tray. I want to be able to see and try to compare because it's not going to be apples to apples, but I want to be able to, analyze it a little bit and see what I'm getting now and what I'd be getting, and see how that flushes out.
Did I send you an email after our last talk with some information to evaluate us and stuff like that?
You may have.
Okay. No,
You may have. It's been months.
yeah,
A couple times since then.
yeah,
The
you
only thing
betcha.
on this $1,800 offer is I would say this $1,800 offer is only good for like let's say a week, just because like this is me like cutting off like 450 a month to our actual services. So if you're like trying to compare us apples to apples on an $1,800 price, I know we'd come in good based on the deliverables, and I don't want to like, you know what I mean, like 3 weeks down the road, I don't know if I want to honor that as much, just because like,
No,
then
I get
I'm
it.
flashing my toes off. You know what I mean?
No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, no,
understand.
I'll put it all in writing and I'll come up with a proposal as
And
far as
I'm
for
happy to
what
work
it
with you
all looks
6
like.
months in the future. I'm just saying, like, I want to make sure
Yeah.
that, like, we, like, you know what I mean?
What
Like,
you're offering now,
it's not infinite
right?
in the open, because it happened to us like three
Right.
months ago. I sent over a proposal from like 6 months prior, and I didn't have an end date on there. And then he signed it 6 months later and phoned me up, and I was like, dude, my sign's on there and his is signed on there. I got to deliver this now. You know what I
Right.
mean?
All right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I'll put together another email with samples of what the ads look like, what those ads look like that we are running for our current clients, so you can get an idea of what that looks like,
Okay.
and then a bunch of other information, everything I can find, just to help you evaluate us as well.
Okay.
And then I'll put
Ash,
that.
sorry to cut you off, but one
Nope.
thing you could do, because SEO is a long game. So, like you mentioned that island analogy, I like that because you're right. You're spending a bunch of money for something that's going to give you the results in 3 to 6 months, 9 months, right? It's not a short game. Anybody who tells you it is, they're lying for sure. So,
Yeah.
one thing I'd be willing to kind of split up is if you don't want the SEO, because I have like I literally like I couldn't go down more on that, but if you want us to run your ads, because that will bring us people raising their hands right away. We could run your ads, do the video editing, do the graphic design, help you with the ideation and run the ads, and we could do that for $1,000 for $1,000. And if you wanted something like that, because I know our service is great and our ability to make the best videos and graphics, we do a really good job. And so, and then that we wouldn't need to put like a, we could do that on a month to month. I'm really just trying to like, we've done this for over 300 home builders. We're partnered with JobTread and APB. Like my whole goal right here is to like earn your trust and like show you what we can actually do. Really, $1,000 in the grand scheme of things is not very much. And, so only in 1 month you'll see like, hey, I like these guys, or like, you know what I mean? And I'm confident that we'd be able to put our best foot forward and, show you what we can do, because I completely understand, like, it's like $1,800 a month is way more than what you're paying now. So it's like, I like that analogy that you use. So it's like, you know what I mean? I want to be able to like make it work for you. I'm not trying to, charge you for something you don't need. I really want to be able to like narrow it down and charge a fair price for the quality work that we can deliver you.
Earn your trust.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate that. Okay.
Because our best relationships, man, like been doing this for a while. So like I've been working with clients for like 5 years, and my best relationships started because it was just like I helped them out on a call, then they needed something, I helped them, and then boom, now I've been working with some of these people for 5 years. And it's like, so that's why I'm genuinely, you ask like, why would you do that? That is the reason why, because I'm passionate about what we do. And it's really not about it's just about seeing if, you know what I mean? It's about building that relationship, building the trust. And you ask us to do something, we deliver it 100%, boom, and then we can keep building upon that, when we're doing what we say we can do. That's the biggest thing, because if you're talking with all these agencies, they all have huge claims, they all have all this and all that. It's not rocket science. It just takes work, skill, and knowing what the process is. And so like, my number one guarantee is that we will always show up for you and we solve problems. You know what I mean? Are we a perfect team? I mean, I couldn't say I'm perfect. My wife would tell me I'm not 100% perfect. You know what I mean? But
Right.
But I try. I always show up. You know what I
There
mean?
you go.
That's the truthful answer, though.
We'll see what she says when you tell her we're going on a 4-month motorcycle trip.
Yeah.
See what she says about that.
Yeah, she might not love that one. I told her already, and she said if I do that before having kids, then she said that that she would allow it. I was like, let's go.
Better keep her.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So.
Well, cool deal. Well, I appreciate it. I
Yeah.
appreciate y'all taking the time today.
Yeah, absolutely, Chris.
Appreciate you hopping on here.
Yeah, man.
I'll
Likewise.
put together 2 different proposals. One for that just running the meta ads, and then one for that full package that we were talking about.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool deal.
And just thinking about it, Chris, that like definitely we'll send that over to you, and definitely compare it to the other people that you got, because I know like my numbers on the SEO, and like based on the effort to actually get the result, like I like actually couldn't go lower. So like genuinely, if somebody could produce it at a lower price, then I'm not 100% sure how, simply because like you know what I mean? Like I know how much the calculation of time we got to input into it and to do the things right with the right backlinks. So I'm not saying like, I definitely recommend do your search, and just if you see something lower, then comparing what the actual deliverables are, because SEO itself, if I both put SEO and they put SEO, but what are the things that actually you're doing to rank the website, the actual weekly deliverables? It's so just want to make that clear. And but no, man, I just want to make sure we can point you in the right direction, and if we can be the ones to help you, then man, it would be a pleasure. But I appreciate your time today, Chris, and I appreciate you, Ash. And Ash, you better put on a jacket, man.
Right? No kidding. Looks cold.
Yeah.
I just have one other question for you, Chris. If everything, after you've had a chance to review everything, would you be open to a follow-up here, and we can go over, do a proposal review and talk about things a little further down the road.
Yeah.
You want to do that next week? Would that give you enough time to check things over?
Should be. I don't know. The calendar of Thursday. Next Thursday would be good.
Next Thursday? What same time?
Same time works.
Same time? You got it. I will I'll work on getting all that stuff together for you and get it sent off as soon as I can here. And get this set up in the calendar and
if
look
I
forward to
could
it.
give one, this is not our company. It's just a company that Facebook bought. Chris, you should look up Manus AI. It'll blow your mind. There's a free trial. It's like $50 a month, and it's different from ChatGPT or Gemini. You can tell it to actually do things. I had a client. He gave me the AutoCAD drawing of a house or a basement reno that he was doing. He had done 2 days to build this quote, going online, checking the prices, and like building out the quote, right? And it took him 2 days, 16 hours. I took his AutoCAD drawing, put it into this program, and it built the whole material list, and it factored in the labor based on New York rates. That's where he was located. And it did it in about 20 minutes, and it was like $30,000 off. Their quote was like $197,000, and this thing said $175,000. So all he had to do was like alter it slightly, add a little more lumber to the one part, and boom, it was done. But everything else was accurate. And it was, of course, a few things needed to be switched. But if you spent
MANUS?
MANUS, if there's one thing that added the most value to your life, I guarantee you this could save you 8 hours a day on like computer work, man. Like,
It
can
blows
literally open up a
ChatGPT out of the water.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it does amazing stuff.
This could literally replace a graphic designer for your social posts. This could make presentation decks. This could make proposals for you. Like, dead serious. This thing is changing the game. Like, this is changing the game for sure. And it's
Definitely worth checking out.
Yeah. I
Appreciate
do not
that.
own it, but if I could give one piece of information that I know that maybe you don't know that could add 100x value, that's it. Like, I bet you that will change your whole week. And then you'll remember, be like, man, that Nick dude was it right. Like, in 1 week, I hope you say that anyways.
Right?
Yeah.
No, I appreciate that. I'll check it out.
Yeah, man. Like I'll give you a couple use cases before I roll. So you can connect it to like email, ads manager, and one of my clients, he was a little late on his bookkeeping, and his accountant, I jumped on a meeting with him for his marketing, and he's like, dude, I'm spending the last 2 days going through my emails, finding all the invoices and receipts that I've received. And I was like, are you done? He was like, no, I'm not even done yet. I said, use this app. And it went through his email, took all the invoices, made a tab, called it Invoices 2025, Receipts 2025, put it all into one folder. All he had to do was zip it and send it to his accountant. And that was something he already spent like 8 hours doing. And then the other use cases, those builders, they put the drawing, it built the material list, it built everything, even built the pricing, and then all you got to do is review it. And then the more you train it, the better it gets. And so, yeah, that one personally makes me excited, man. Like, it blows my
It can
mind.
definitely buy you back some time with that,
Yeah,
for sure.
man, buy back so
Cool.
much time. Yeah. Anything a
Absolutely, I'm gonna
human
look
could
at that.
do on a computer, this could pretty much do, except for like, when they give you like those 9 boxes and they're like, hey, choose the bicycles or like choose the buses. The AI cannot pass this. So that's like the one thing I've seen it get stopped with. But
I got you.
and video editing's not quite there, but pretty much everything else. Like, I'm starting to think that I could probably fire bookkeepers. I'm not sure if it's there yet, but like, it's getting close. Not saying I want to fire.
Aren't
This
you
stuff's
the
getting kind of sketchy as to how well it's working.
It is. It truly is. But once you
Kinda
use
scary.
it and you spend like 50 cents in credits and you're like, dang, that would have taken me 8 hours, you'll be like, I agree, don't put any sensitive info in there at all. But like, for the amount it costs and for how much time it can buy you back, it's just unbelievable. Like, if you wanted to create some sort of event in your city and you're like, oh, I want to make a little post, like a PDF document that explains everything about this event, and here's the info, but I want it to look good, you could just throw it in there and say, hey, make this a 10-page presentation with the colors use the branding of my website. I'll go open your website, take the branding, make the presentation, and say, hey, what do you think? And you can, edit it a few times, and it pumps it out to look like, not even exaggerating, like it looks fantastic. Like our graphic designers, we have 3 of them on our team, and what used to we do ebooks, and those ebooks used to take 8 to 10 hours, like straight up, because you all need all the information, you need the writing, you need the design, you need to be very creative. And now we're able to do like 3 ebooks in an hour, because it's like unbelievable good. So hopefully that can save you a couple grands a month, and maybe save you some time. And hey, that would make me pretty happy. Even if you didn't go with us and you're like, Nick, you save me 8 hours a day or something, or even 2, I'd be like, dude, that's a piece of fulfillment for me.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I challenge you to find another marketing agency that's this passionate
Right.
about what we do.
Yeah, I definitely but also some people have said I'm too passionate. I've jumped on here and they're like, dude, shut up. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. I don't jive with everybody either personally, but I guess who does? I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Cool. Well,
Well, I
Chris,
definitely appreciate all the good information.
yeah, I appreciate it also. And man, I hope you have a great day. And I appreciate you taking this much time with us also, because I know we took over almost an hour with you. So I appreciate that.
All right,
Very
you're welcome.
much.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you.
Guys.
Look forward to